Number 1. Let's do it. Let's make this happen. Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know the whole story behind that.
That's exactly the point.
So you'd have to base it in. You'd have to start.
Oh, no. But you're forgetting what's coming out December 2018.
The new Spider-Man movie?
And
the Infinity
guess
War?
what? There are a lot of variants on that, and that could be a spin-off. And then they could throw a promo in there for Gwen Stacy. And I don't care what you say. Look at all the merchandise. Go to the comic book store. Go to the sticker stores. Look at the backpacks. Gwen Stacy all the way.
Let me say something.
No.
You should take that knowledge you have and the help that you can give so much, and you should go help DC. Stop with the Marvel. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Who says that?
Tell me.
Ant-Man. Said that to Hank Pym. All right, let's get a quick interview. We're going to come right back, and I've got to talk about something that everyone has been bugging me about over and over again. Do you know what they're bugging me about, AMV? People at work come up to me and ask me questions about it. People that are emailing me, they've tried to win tickets for it, and they want to know if I'm going to have tickets for that day, and I don't even know because it's still a year away.
Tell us, what tickets are they?
Disneyland, Star Wars Land, the new thing. We have all the information about everything that's going to happen, all right? But first, we'll come back and do that. First, let's talk to Kyle Starks from Rick and Morty. Let's hear how he is handling the fame and success of Rick and Morty right now.
I'm standing here with Kyle Starks. He is an entrepreneur. He is a connoisseur. He is an artist. He's a barbecuist. I'm kidding. He draws comic books. Wow. He's a cartoonist. And I came up to you because you got this big sign behind you about the show that nobody really watches at all. Can you hear me?
I can.
You can? It's very low?
No, I can hear.
Okay.
My hearing's not great, but I'm good.
Oh, okay. It happens when you work with Rick and Morty, huh?
Sometimes. Sometimes intentionally.
Tell me, we're going to get into your comic book, Rick and Morty, but I don't want to get into that yet because I want to know your background real fast.
Okay.
Kyle, how did you get into... So do you write and draw, or how does it work?
I think earlier you said as a cartoonist. I think that's generally the preferred nomenclature of someone who both writes and draws their work.
Yeah.
I was average Joe for many, many, many years. I did sort of an... what's the word I'm looking for? Blanking.
You're a connoisseur. Let's stick with that name.
Yeah, connoisseur. I don't think that's right. But I was kind of doing, I never made a comic, but I always wanted to, and I was having kids. So I made one. I really enjoyed doing it, so I made another one, et cetera.
How long ago was this?
5 years ago.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
What did you do prior to that?
I worked for newspapers. I worked.
But you were still drawing, and
I wasn't. I wasn't doing anything.
So how did you pick up the drawing?
Well, because I did for many years. I went to art school for college, but after that I realized I was never going to be a famous painter. So I took a bunch of graphic design classes and I got into newspapers, etc.
So did you do all these drawings? I'm picking up one of your. Did you do that?
That is a very good artist. Her name is I don't want to say because I'll be wrong.
Cannon?
No, that's not. No, it's not on the cover at all.
But you did...
Qualis, I believe is her last name. And she does just these covers. They're convention exclusives.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, back when I was younger, I did art, but then I realized it wasn't going to work out. I got married. I got regular jobs. I did a comic, and I kickstarted it because people said you should kickstart it. So I did another one. I kickstarted it. Did really well. It's this book, Sexcastle. It did really well. I got introduced to Image, who printed it. It was nominated for an Eisner.
So are you in the Bay Area then?
No, I'm from Indiana, man. I'm from nowhere in this vicinity.
Wow, I would not think that, but go ahead.
Anyway, so it was It was up for an award, an Eisner for Best Humor Publication. If you do a book that everyone agrees is funny, this is going to be bad, right?
Okay. No, go.
It's not, okay.
No, it's not going to be bad.
Okay. Yeah, so if you do something that's sort of universally recognized as being funny, everyone who wants a funny book will sort of approach you.
Okay.
And I got approached to do an issue of Invader Zim for Oni.
Okay.
It was fine. I did one issue. That's all they asked for. When I knew there wasn't going to be a second one, because at the time, they closed the plant I worked at. So I was suddenly unemployed, but it's like, we're going to do this comic book thing. I got asked to do an issue of Invader Zim. It was fine. I found out that Oni also had Rick and Morty, and I was like, well, I wish that's what they would have asked me to do, because I would have hit a home run. And as it happens, literally a week later, they got an email. It's like, would you have any interest in doing Rick and Morty for 5 issues? I was like, I would love to. Like, I love Rick and Morty. This was 2016.
And you get to do this from home, right?
I get to do this from home, yeah.
You lucky son of a bitch.
So I was supposed to do 5 issues, which was their plan at the time, was to have a rotating cast.
Okay.
To bring in cartoonists to help the artists at the time, because they were an animator, they weren't a comic creator. So they were bringing in cartoonists for 5 issues at a time. Well, I did my 5 issues. They asked for me to do another 5 issues. And then after that, they just...
Is this one of them that was displayed and given away at Free Comic Book Day? Did you do one of those?
The Free Comic Book Day this year was issue number 1.
Was that you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't come on until issue 16.
Okay.
We're now on issue 40. I don't even know.
Okay.
I am scheduled to go through 50. By the time 50 happens, I will have done 31 issues of the book, which is how many episodes of the show there are.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So they approached you and asked you, and you did 5 more for them.
Yeah, and then they said let him keep going. Like, let him do it as long as he wants to. So I'm at 30. I'm basically at 31 now.
Kyle, this is like a story from Disney. Is this a Disney story? It's like
Or like a weird, like, out of nowhere.
Yes.
It's a little strange. It's a little surreal. I mean, I've done 2 Image books. I've had another book with Oni. I've done a lot of comic work.
Yeah.
And basically, the meat of it's been the last 2 years. I think
That's
I have
amazing.
11 from 2016 to present. I think I have 11 trade paperbacks.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm like, this is an unbelievable story. I mean, like, and it looks like it's not going to end at all, right? I mean, they're continuing on with more issues, especially since
the season's been it's been renewed for 70 episodes, so we're looking at least like 7 more years of it. So
Jeez.
I'll be doing it for a while.
So these are all yours, and I'm sorry, I'm going to touch the regular. Did you do the cover on this one?
No.
You didn't do it, but you do what's inside.
I've written every issue. When I started on issue 16, I drew every 5th issue.
Okay.
Up until, I think, 36, which would have been 20 issues later, I was doing full layouts for the book also. But we had a very good artist, CJ Cannon, at the time. CJ now does a lot of the sort of spin-off books, the quarterly books, because of their schedule. Our backup artist, Mark Ellerby, who's a good British boy, has taken over. He's very good. It's a great book, man, and especially if you're a fan of the show, and if you're not reading the comics, you're missing out. Because it's additional content, and the show's not going to be back for a while.
Yeah, I know. We do
it every month. There's a new episode every month at your comic book store.
Now, how did it work out with the creators? I mean, do you have to pass this by them? Does it fly or no?
So the gist is, as per my understanding, because I turn things into an editor, basically, is that Justin, who's the co-creator and the voice of Rick and Morty, approves everything. He reads everything, but I've never gotten a note back. I've never got anything more than...
So he approves it. He likes it. You guys are in the scene.
It's my understanding that he did for hearsay, that he did an appearance in Toronto last year, and someone asked him, like, of all these spin-off things, or like all the non-cartoon, like what was he like most stoked about? And I was told he said the comic book, which it means a lot to me.
Have you met him?
I met him at San Diego 2 years ago.
Do you know you're just like him? You have the same kind of
manic energy.
Yes,
is that the word?
Just no. I like it. Like, you're a guy that I know. Your humor's funny. You've got this deep humor that's kind of dark, but it pops out, and you get this funny stuff that comes to you. You guys are very, very similar.
I think that's why, for me, I mean, I liked it because it was sort of in my wheelhouse. For my personal work, I do a lot of sort of action movie type things.
Yeah.
And like, this is science fiction. Like, they're not a lot different. So, but you know, him and Harmon are literal geniuses. They have a great crew. It's a lot to go up against every month. It's just to recreate the work of 2 geniuses. That's all I got to do.
I'm standing here I'm actually on a knee with Kyle Starks. Looks like I'm asking him to marry me. He is the writer. Let's say writer
and occasional artist.
Yeah, Rick and Morty, the comic book.
From Oni Press.
Okay, now if you want to pick up a copy of Rick and Morty, go to any comic book store, or even go online. They can order them online. Correct?
Yeah, they're going to go to Comixology. You can go to Amazon.
Let's go through the stories, okay? Because Rick and Morty, I'm not going to steal in. I'm just going to ask you a quick question. Out of all these, being Rick and Morty-ish, what was the most bizarre one that you came up with that you're like? Because the Pickle Rick on TV was just like one of those things. Like, what the fuck?
You know, the thing about Pickle Rick, though, I think there's an interview somewhere where Dan Harmon refers to Justin as his $1 million character machine, and like you can't hang with that. I mean, you just can't. I'm not. I have some stuff. I mean, I've done so many issues now that there's things that are in the comic that have then maybe come back rarely. I like to do the comic in a way that people can just drop in and get sort of the same experience. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, well, what's going on? Because with the show, you can kind of watch any episode and go, that was good, right?
Yeah.
So, and I want the same thing. I want somebody to pick up a comic and go, oh, this is good. And maybe you watch another one. Hopefully you read another one.
Yeah.
So I've tried to replicate what they do in that regards to the comic. But I'm not trying to, like...
But have you came up with something, a segment or something that you're like, my God, this is my most... What issue? Give me an issue.
I have a bunch. I think...
Because I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull it up.
I think issue 21, 22, 23, I did an arc. And we do very few arcs. At the beginning, they went a lot of arcs, but I feel like they're not great. But I did an arc where I introduced Doofus Jerry.
Okay.
Who would be from the Doofus Rick universe. And Doofus Rick is the sort of opposite of the Rick we know. He's very likable and he's sweet and he's compassionate. And I thought, well, if this is a universe where everything's the opposite, then in that universe, Jerry isn't pathetic and weak. He's aggressive and capable, and he's terrifying. And he ends up, spoilers, taking over the Council of Ricks, sort of trying to take over the multiverse. So getting the chance to do something that I feel like is very, very pure, but I think every issue has something that you go, that's very Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
It feels like another
That's good.
episode of the show.
That's good. I hope this continues on for you. Rick and Morty, and thank you, Kyle Starks, for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me, man.
Dude, I appreciate this. I'm going to get you on the air. We're going to get you a podcast, anything else. Anything you want to push? Do you want people to follow you on your social media platform?
Yeah, I'm at the Kyle Starks on pretty much everything. I have a Patreon, Twitter, Instagram.
And can we get some sneak previews of stuff on your Twitter and social media?
Well, because if it's Rick and Morty, not really. I mean, it makes it hard because it's a licensed book and we don't really show things before.
Okay.
A lot of it's generally my personal work, two of which have been Eisner nominated, which is the Oscar of Comics, Sexcastle, and Rock Candy Mountain. But I always have other stuff going on. They just announced that I'm doing Mars Attacks in October with my good friend and super talented cartoonist, America's Best Kept Secret, Chris Schweitzer. That comes out in October. In fact, you can pre-order it right now. I always got something going on, man. I think a new book's going to be announced in New York. I'm very busy, man.
So we're not going back to the newspaper? Because I heard the newspaper is a very thriving
You know
industry.
what? The newspaper did have benefits, which was great. I do miss benefits and a 401k, but I like making my own hours and telling stories for a living. So
yeah, that 401k is a bitch when you don't have it.
It's pretty good, yeah.
No, I'll go with Obamacare any day.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, Kyle Starks.
Man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy.
That's Kyle Starks. You want to catch all the interviews. You want to hear the past ones. You want to get the new ones. I'm trying to get them up. It takes me a while, too, because I want to clean them up a little bit for you guys. It's at yournerdside.com or on SoundCloud. Those are two things you can do. All right? So check those out.
Hey, I know we're backtracking, but just to let everyone know, there's a big campaign now for again about Henry Cavill. It goes, Henry Cavill's my Superman. So if you want to do hashtag Henry Cavill's my Superman, you want to keep him there, help him do the good fight.
There we go. I liked him. I mean, and I'm going to say this. And you guys might hate me for this, okay? But I went to go see Man of Steel. And when I saw that movie, my favorite one is Christopher Reeve. Now, Henry Cavill took a role up and people didn't like it. There's just some people that just don't like Superman. I don't know why. They like that dark Batman. I'm tough.
Nice.
He's nice. I like that he's nice.
He's too much of a Boy Scout.
That's why I like Captain America, too.
Like, tell everybody, if you had Superman powers, what do you say that you probably would do?
Oh, I'd probably take over the world. I'd probably make myself overlord. I am Aaron Fonseca.
And Aaron was a Boy Scout.
Because absolute power corrupts absolutely. I probably help people for a while. All right.
Let's get those kryptonites in our
Let's
banks.
do a sounder because we got to make this Disney sounding. All right. So let me hear it. There. That's pretty much Disneyland. That's good. That's good. Star Wars' existence in Disneyland theme parks predates the company's purchase of Lucasfilm. We all know that, right? Right?
What?
Star Wars. It's been existing in Disneyland before the predates purchase of Lucasfilm. It's been there for a while.
Yes,
and everybody knew that only a matter of time that we'd eventually be privy to a Star Wars land. People said it for years, like, oh, we should do something, and one day it's going to happen. Well, it finally happens. It's called Star Wars Galaxy Edge, and you saw the patch they gave me? Did you see the patch?
No, I did not.
I got a patch they sent up to me.
Is it posted on the website?
No, it's over here. I left it in my patch.
What? You got to post it on Instagram at your Nerdside.
You never saw this? They sent that to me. It's because everybody got that to put it.
No,
Seriously.
So here in my hands, possessions, very silvery. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Landing 2019.
So that's a patch I'm going to put on there. We were really supposed to get jackets, but I'm not down there to get a jacket. You know what I mean? At least, something. I mean, they did give me some things.
They did give you some. Be grateful. Attitude with gratitude.
So thank you guys so much. So What do we know so far about Star Wars Galaxy Edge? Well, the exact opening date Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Walt Disney World has been officially announced, has been given a window of a late fall of 2019. Well, that covers a lot of ground, except to see Walt Disney World target an early November opening. That's what they're really trying to do. I don't know exactly how it's set up for Disney World. I can tell you about this about Disneyland. Is it going to happen? Yes, they're rushing.